Hello, hello. I'm in the camper taking a little respite from the city life, and I was in the middle of making this and I went, you really should record it. So what I'm making is what I saw online: strawberry jam with 3 ingredients. That's strawberry jam with 3 ingredients, no pectin, which I don't have here in the trailer, right? No, anything for thickening or anything like that. And it called for 2 pounds of strawberries. Well, I had bought 2 pounds of strawberries a few days ago, and they were in the refrigerator at home, so I brought them with me. And unfortunately, most of it is in the trash, because if you know strawberries like I know strawberries, they start getting mold and getting rotten if you don't start, cover them with sugar and do whatever when you first get them home. And I was busy, so I didn't do that. Well, the recipe I saw online, it was called, I think, quick, strawberry jam with 3 ingredients or whatever. If I find it, I'll have it linked at the bottom. Anyway, so I went, and it called for 2 pounds of strawberries. Well, by the time I finished getting rid of the moldy ones and the ones that were going rotten and everything, I figured I have about a pound left. So, of course, I'm going to do half the recipe. Alright, so I got about a pound of strawberries, I'm guessing. It called for a cup of sugar, so I put a half a cup of sugar in. And then it called for lemon, and ran out of room on my SD card. So I had to go delete a bunch of stuff. Anyway, where was I? Yes. So it called for lemon, but he hand squeezed and had to pick out the seeds. I have one of these. And so I squeezed half lemon, right? So you put the lemon in there and squeeze it. So I squeezed the half lemon in there, and now I'm just letting the sugar and the lemon juice and everything, make juice on the strawberries. And we'll come back, in about 30 minutes or so. In your time, in about a few seconds, right? But I'll come back, and then we will see, and we'll start cooking it. And what he's doing is he cooked it to the candy stage. So I don't have a candy thermometer here with me. That's at home. But I can take and do what he did and do a test to see when it is at candy stage. So I'll come back when I'm getting ready to turn on the fire. Okay, so what I did, as you saw in the picture, I turned the sound off because it was really noisy, was I took some of them and I chopped them up. When I was cleaning them, I should have chopped up pretty good. But got a lot of juice now. So I got the lemon, and I've got the sugar in here, and just enough. So now I'm going to turn on the flame. Well, I might have, here it is. Took a while. So it must have needed to feed the propane. I'm going to turn it on medium. So that's what happens when you put so when I end my trip, I store my trailer at a storage facility. And when I do that, I turn off the propane, the big propane cylinders. So I turn them off, and sometimes some of the propane, well, it bled out of this for the cook stove because my water heater uses propane, so it probably took some of the gas out of the line for the stove, and it just had to feed some propane into the line. So the job here is to, as he said, you got to keep stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. So again, with the magic of video, I am going to go away and I will come back in about probably 30 to 45 minutes because it takes a while for this to heat up and then and I want some chunks, right? You want strawberry chunks when you do your strawberry jam. So anyway, I'm going to go away and I'll come back when it's boiling and show you a little bit while it's boiling. Well, I'm back again. About 15 or so minutes later. I've got this on the lowest setting I can have it on this propane stove. And so I'm here, and one of the things the gentleman talked about is that it's going to foam up. And so you keep stirring down the foam. However, once it stops foaming, when you stir it, it should be about the candy stage. Now, you don't want it at hard crack, otherwise we'll have strawberry candy. But he wants it at a soft crack stage. For those of you who are candy makers, I don't have my thermometer here, as I said, but it's around 200 and some degrees, and you're at the soft crack stage. And I didn't do one of the things he suggested, and I need to do it, is to take, and let's see what I have in here. Got some foil. I'm going to put it, it's a little tight, but I'm going to put it in the freezer. See, I've got a freezer. So I'm going to put it in the freezer so it gets cold. And one of the things he said is when you put it, whoops, sorry about that. When you put it in the, can't turn on the fan while I'm talking. When you take a few drops and you put it on a piece of cold, something that's cold, you know, like something coming straight out of the freezer, it should get hard. But me, I'm going, yeah, but I bet you that I could just put it on a cold, or I just watch it just watch it and see how slow and how thick it is. And right now it's not very thick, so it's not anywhere really ready to go. But when it starts being thick and slow to come off of my spoon, I've made candy often enough that I kind of know. And the next time I make caramel corn, and I'm in the mood for making some caramel corn or some peanut brittle, because I love it. But when I look at the peanut, excuse me, when I look at the peanut brittle in the stores and I look at all the ingredients in it, I go, no, 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 I don't want that. So what I'm going to say and make a suggestion, next time you go to the grocery store, I want you to look at strawberry jam or blueberry jam or blackberry jam, grape jelly, and see all the things in it. Because you can use this for raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, and I've got some peaches in here. I may make some peach jam. Now let's see how soft those peaches are, whether they're, you know, just beyond, just a little bit too soft for me to eat, slice up and eat. I'm going to make some peach jam while we're here. You know. So what am I doing up here at the campground? Well, one of the rules that I said about being at the campground is that if I was going to have a camper, and I started out with a tent, so that wasn't, you know, I didn't need that. But then I went to a pop-up, and I said, if I can't go out camping once a month with that pop-up, I didn't need it. And I didn't make it every month with the pop-up, but almost. And then I would spend 2 weeks out. Now, a lot of you are working. I got the pop-up before I stopped working, but I'd go out on the weekends. Get in on Friday, get in the camper, head up here to the campground, be here till Sunday evening, and then off to work. When I was doing a temporary job up on Long Island, I drove. And I took the pop-up there. I was staying at Residence Inn, had a spot there where I could park the trailer. And on weekends, camped out on Long Island, up in the Adirondacks, up in the Catskills. So I did a lot of that. All right. And at the time I had a honey, so that was fine. Then honey left. I got the pop-up, and while I was up in Pennsylvania, I had some issues with the pop-up. Went in to get the repair parts so I could fix it, and found my new travel trailer, which was a hybrid. That's the one that has the tent ends. Again, the rule is I need to go out. And that one, by the time I got that one, I had retired from my full 9-to-5 job, and then I could come up for 2 weeks. And my second book, I'll pop a picture up, I think. My second book, I wrote most of it here in the camper. So a lot of my editing for the videos that I have, that I've got an archive of the videos over almost a year, you're seeing them now. But those are mostly my Wednesday videos uploads. But, so I'll edit those, I'll do some writing, work on some courses, so that my Think and Grow Rich masterclass was partially written while I was here at the campground. So I do work. Okay, that's the ice maker you hear in the background. And the air conditioner is on. So again, no cicadas this time, but we got the air conditioner running. There's no way I could be up here right now without the air conditioner working for me, because it's like 90 some degrees outside. So anyway, I'm gonna not do what the guy said, because I want to show you something. So let's see what happens. And you can see, and you can hear the cicadas. But there's my workbench. I got a chair, and I bring my food up in the cooler, and so when the cooler is empty, which is right there, then I bring it out. And then the way up here up there, that's the rec center, and that's where I am getting the my Wi-Fi from. I have a what do you want to call it? A booster, and I can get I can pick up the rec center Wi-Fi from this location, so I get to do that. Ooh, look at that. It's looking really good, isn't it? Ooh, and it's thickening up. Well, I'm going to go away for a minute. I think I've talked enough, and I'm going to let this boil some more. I think it's going to take another 5 minutes or so. So, I'll be back. Okay, now look. No foam. And that's what the gentleman said in his video, no foam. So I've been without foam for a while, but still don't think we're thick enough. And I tested it a little bit on that bread pan, that aluminum bread pan, and it wasn't really thick. So I'm letting it cook down some more, so that, but it looks so good, and I tasted it, and it tastes delicious. Well, I never ever had thought about making strawberry jam before till I saw that YouTube video, and I went, oh, and I got strawberries in my refrigerator. Hey, make a comment below if you've ever done that. You've watched something on YouTube, or you saw something on somebody's blog, and you go, I got those ingredients in my cupboard. why don't I make that? Yeah, so make a comment about something you've made by watching some video and you hadn't thought about making it, and you decided, well, I need to try that, right? I need to try that. Yeah, it's getting a little thicker and stuff, but still not quite where I think it should be. But I'm going to pull the aluminum foil thing out of the freezer. And let's see. It's supposed to be, put it on there, and it should get pretty solid, like not move. Right? Ah, it's moving. So it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. But I'm the only one eating this. Now it's not super sweet. I'm going to put this back in the freezer. It's not super sweet because I put a lot of lemon juice in it. So also I may just wind up just making pictures soon because I got to watch this pretty closely now. Normally, if I was at home, I'd pull out my canning jars and I'd put it in the canning jar. And there's one thing about this, because it's sweet, because there's sugar in there and there's lemon juice in it and it's been cooked to a high temperature. This, I can put it in here. I'm going to put some boiling water in it, or I might just put it in the microwave with some boiling water so I can sterilize it. And then I'm going to put my jelly jam in here and put the lid on, and it can stay, even though it's not in a canning jar, it can stay in the refrigerator for up to 6 months. And that's because of the high temperature that this is at, putting boiling water in that thing and sterilizing it. Actually, I've got some colloidal silver here. I'm going to rinse it out with colloidal silver. For those of you who are not familiar with colloidal silver, I guess I'm going to have to do okay, there's the ice maker again. I guess I'm going to have to make a video about colloidal silver and what I use it for. So it is a antimicrobial, antibiotic, antivirus, anti all kinds of stuff, antifungal. So I'm going to boil that. Put water in there, let it go to boiling, and then put a little colloidal silver in the water. So that will kill any nasties that are in it. But the bowl is clean. So, yeah, this is like really getting thick now. I don't want to get it too thick because I want it to kind of be jelly-ish and not like candy. Okay? Anyhow. So, I'm going to take so this is it. Just understand, I'll take a picture once I put it in the aluminum foil and you'll see. But you see how thick this is right now. It's really thick. There's no foam. If you've got a candy thermometer at home, you can take it to soft crack stage. Just below soft crack stage, because you don't, so it's not going to be candy. It's just going to be jamish. If you understand that. Okay, I'm going to go away, and from now on it'll just be some pictures that I take, because I got to get real serious now. I decided to pop back in. It is good on there, so it got cold and it's solid. It's still a little, that was, right. Okay, so that's still a little soft, but that's okay, because it'll be spreadable on my bread. And I made some epi bread the other day, and the no knead bread. So I made some of that in the epi style. So I brought that with me. So I'm going to heat up that a little bit. I have a toaster oven here. So I'm going to heat that up in the morning, and I'm going to have strawberry jam. So I'm done. Oh, okay. I hadn't turned off my video, so it's been running. Anyway, so that's why you saw this clip, that thing. So be sure to soak your pan, because this stuff is sticking to the side. So we need to soak it. And here's what it looks like in the little container. I'm going to leave the top off for now because this is just a plastic container. But I'm going to leave the top off so it'll cool down. And then I will, well, tonight it's just going to sit on the counter. But then I'll put it in the refrigerator tomorrow and take it home with me when I leave. Okay, this is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and I just basically showed you quick and easy. Well, it took a little bit of time, probably about an hour or so, you know, when you add in the cleaning the strawberries and cutting them up, and then putting the sugar on and the lemon juice, and then letting it sit till it makes liquid, and then the cooking process. That cooking process is the one that took the longest. It took about an hour or so. And this is just using 1 pound, approximately 1 pound of strawberries, a half a cup of sugar, and a half of a large lemon. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.